Hey friends, have you ever wondered why some people stay calm, confident, and unstoppable no matter what life throws at them, while others crumble under pressure? Why do a few individuals achieve financial freedom and personal growth, even in uncertain times, while most struggle to move forward? What if I told you that the biggest barriers aren't money, skill, or luck, but fear, habits, and mindset? What if the very things holding you back are invisible, like the need for approval, the illusion of control, or the resistance to change? In this video, we're diving deep into the lessons that teach you exactly how mentally strong people think, act, and grow. You'll discover why fear is actually a signal, why change is your secret weapon, and why letting go of unnecessary control can unlock your true potential. By the end of this summary, you'll have a step-by-step guide to mastering your mindset, making smarter financial decisions, and breaking free from limitations that society and even yourself have silently placed on you. Is to ask yourself, are you letting fear secretly control your life and money? Do you focus on what you can control or waste energy on what you can't? Are you brave enough to embrace change and step into opportunities that feel uncomfortable? Are you living for approval or for your own freedom and growth? If you're ready to think like a mentally strong person, take control of your life and grow without limits, then let's dive in. Lesson 1. Money should serve you, not control you. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that money no longer controls your life. You're not working because you have to, but because you choose to. This book opens with that powerful idea and immediately challenges your comfort zone. It asks a simple but uncomfortable question. Are you truly free or just living inside a safe cage? Most people feel a little relief every month when the paycheck arrives, but real freedom never comes. The book makes it clear from the start, the real problem isn't lack of money, it's lack of the right mindset. People struggle not because income is low, but because their thinking has been trained to stay small. The author explains that the world is divided into two types of people. One group lets life run on autopilot, accepting things as they are. The other group studies the system, questions it, and creates a new path. This book is written for the second group. It clearly warns that if you keep thinking the way you were taught as a child, you'll get the same results as everyone else: limited income, limited time, and limited freedom. This is not a book about fantasy or overnight success. It speaks in reality. Money flows toward people who don't fear it and don't worship it. Money is neither good nor bad, it's a tool. Treat it wisely and it gives you time freedom. Misunderstand it and it traps you in endless hustle. As long as money is only something you spend, it controls you. At the moment you learn how to put money to work, your direction starts changing. The book then challenges the traditional job mindset. A job itself isn't wrong, but treating it as the final truth of life is the biggest mistake. A job offers security, but the price of that security is freedom. You trade your time and energy for a fixed amount, and slowly this becomes a habit. The author explains how this system quietly trains people to fear risk. Over time, that fear stops them from making bold decisions. But money doesn't move toward safety, it moves toward responsibility and calculated risk. Those who accept responsibility attract opportunities. True freedom doesn't mean doing nothing. It means working on your own terms. If your income is tied directly to your time, you will always be limited because time is limited. But when income is connected to decisions and systems, money starts working for you. This lesson sets the foundation of the book. Stop blaming situations, bosses, governments, or luck. The moment you take full responsibility for your financial life, excuses disappear and progress begins. Lesson 2. Money is a tool. Your thinking gives it power. Most people don't have a money problem, they have a relationship problem with money. This lesson explains that people usually swing between two extremes. Some treat money like everything in life depends on it. Others see money as something bad or dirty. Both mindsets create damage. Money is not a god and it's not evil. It's simply a tool. And like any tool, its impact depends on how you use it. When you understand money correctly, it buys you time, flexibility, and choice. When you misunderstand it, it locks you into non-stop chasing and stress. The book makes one thing very clear: as long as you see money only as something to spend, it will keep you trapped. Spending without strategy keeps you dependent. At the moment you learn how to put money to work, your entire direction starts shifting. This lesson also challenges the comfort of routine income. Regular pay feels safe, but that safety often comes at the cost of growth. Slowly, comfort turns into limitation. People stop questioning. They stop experimenting. And over time, fear of loss becomes stronger than the desire for freedom. The author explains that money naturally flows toward people who are willing to take responsibility. Not reckless risk, calculated risk. Risk backed by understanding. Money avoids people who want guarantees but rewards those who accept uncertainty with clarity. True independence begins when income is no longer directly tied to hours worked. Time is limited. Decisions are not. When your income depends on systems instead of effort alone, money shifts from being your boss to becoming your employee. This lesson pushes a hard truth: blaming external factors keeps you powerless. When you blame the economy, your job, your background, or luck, you give control away. The moment you accept responsibility, your thinking sharpens and options start appearing. The lesson ends with a powerful reminder: money doesn't change who you are. It reveals who you are. If your thinking is confused, more money creates more chaos. If your thinking is clear, money strengthens that clarity. Lesson 3: freedom comes from systems, not hard work. This lesson breaks one of the biggest myths around money, that working harder automatically leads to freedom. Hard work matters, but effort alone doesn't create independence. What creates freedom is systems. Most people spend their entire lives trading time for money. Every day starts from zero and every night ends in exhaustion. If they stop working, income stops. The book makes it clear: as long as your income depends directly on your presence, you will always be limited. The author explains that financially independent people don't avoid work, they place it strategically. They build systems where one smart decision can generate results again and again. While most people restart the race every morning, systems keep working even when you step away. This lesson also introduces an important distinction: effort versus value. You can work extremely hard and still move nowhere if your effort is strengthening someone else's system instead of your own. Value is what attracts money, not exhaustion. Money flows toward impact, not activity. The book challenges the idea that being busy means being productive. Many people stay busy all day but never move closer to freedom. Systems force you to slow down, think, plan, and design income instead of chasing it. Another key idea in this lesson is patience. Real wealth is not built quickly. Quick money thinking is just another trap. Sustainable income grows over time when systems are allowed to compound. The focus is not on speed, it's on direction. The author also explains that systems don't have to be massive. They can start small. What matters is that they are built from clarity, not desperation. Systems created out of fear collapse. Systems created out of understanding grow stronger. This lesson shifts your mindset from survival to strategy. Instead of asking, "How can I work more?" it teaches you to ask, "How can I design something that works without me?" That question alone changes everything. Lesson 4: responsibility is the price of real freedom. This lesson delivers a hard truth: most people avoid freedom, and responsibility always come together. You can't want freedom but reject responsibility. The more responsibility you're willing to carry, the more control you gain over your life. Most people say they want financial independence, but what they actually want is comfort without accountability. The book makes it clear: money doesn't move toward people who want safety, it moves toward people who accept ownership of outcomes. A job feels secure because responsibility is limited. Decisions are made by someone else. Risk is capped. That's why freedom is capped too. When responsibility is shared or avoided, control is also shared or lost. This lesson explains why many people stay stuck even when they understand the ideas. They keep blaming systems, bosses, the economy, or luck. Blame feels light, but it quietly steals power. Responsibility feels heavy, but it creates options. The author points out something powerful: money looks for clarity, not guarantees. People who take responsibility are forced to think clearly. They can't hide behind excuses. And clarity attracts opportunity. Another key idea here is failure. Most people avoid responsibility because they fear failure. But avoiding failure also means avoiding growth. Every decision carries risk, but avoiding decisions carries a bigger cost: stagnation. True independence doesn't come from avoiding mistakes. It comes from owning them, learning fast, and adjusting. This mindset turns setbacks into feedback instead of stopping points. The lesson closes with a shift in perspective. When you stop asking who is responsible and start asking what can I control, your entire financial direction begins to change. Responsibility isn't a burden. It's the entry fee to freedom. Lesson 5: opportunity favors clear thinkers. not the crowd. This lesson explains why opportunities are everywhere, yet most people never see them. The problem isn't scarcity, it's perception. Most people only notice what they're shown and follow what the crowd is already doing. The book points out that people who attract money think differently. They don't blindly accept the system. They question it. They observe patterns. They look for gaps instead of instructions. While the crowd looks for safety, clear thinkers look for leverage. Most people wait to be told what to do. They want guaranteed paths and proven formulas. But opportunity doesn't come with instructions. It appears as uncertainty. That's why it's invisible to those who are afraid of responsibility. This lesson makes it clear. The book isn't teaching what job or business to choose. It teaches how to think so you can recognize the right moves for yourself. That thinking slowly removes dependence on others and builds internal confidence. Another powerful idea here is the danger of copying success. When you follow someone else's path without understanding it, you inherit their risks without their clarity. Real opportunity is created when you understand the system well enough to carve out your own position. The author also warns against two extremes: hating money and chasing quick wealth. Both mindsets are driven by impatience and fear. Sustainable success comes from understanding timing, structure, and long-term thinking. Opportunity rewards people who are prepared, not people who rush. It grows when patience meets awareness. Those who build steadily may look slow, but they're the ones who last. The lesson closes with a reminder. Financial growth begins the moment you stop following the crowd and start trusting your ability to think clearly. Lesson 6. Discipline and focus create financial strength. This lesson explains why many people start strong but fail to move forward, not because they lack ideas, but because they lack discipline and focus. Most people chase new ideas, new opportunities, and quick wins. Their energy gets scattered. They stay busy but make very little progress. The book makes it clear, progress doesn't come from doing more things, it comes from doing fewer things better. Focus is the ability to say no. No to distractions. No to unnecessary spending. No to opportunities that look attractive but pull you away from your direction. This skill is difficult, but it's what separates people who move ahead from those who stay stuck. Discipline is often misunderstood. It's not punishment or restriction. It's structure. It protects your time, your money, and your mental clarity. Without discipline, even high income disappears. With discipline, even small progress compounds. This lesson also highlights how daily habits shape financial outcomes. Money isn't hidden in one big break, it's hidden in everyday decisions. How you spend, how you save, how you use time, and how consistently you learn. The author explains that emotional decisions are the enemy of long-term growth. Fear stops action. Greed pushes reckless moves. Calm, disciplined thinking creates stability and momentum. Another key idea is preparation. Opportunities often appear suddenly, but the ability to act on them is built quietly. Discipline prepares you long before the moment arrives. The lesson ends with a strong reminder. Freedom doesn't come from doing whatever you want, it comes from controlling yourself first. Lesson 7. Fear is the real enemy of financial growth. This lesson exposes the one factor that silently controls most financial decisions: fear. Not lack of money, not lack of skill, fear. Fear of failure, fear of loss, fear of judgment, fear of stepping away from what feels safe. The book explains that fear keeps people repeating the same actions, even when those actions no longer serve them. And when actions don't change, results don't change either. Most people confuse risk with recklessness. But the author makes a clear distinction. Every meaningful opportunity carries discomfort. That doesn't make it a gamble. It means it requires thought, preparation, and responsibility. Growth never feels comfortable at the beginning. This lesson shows how society quietly trains people to avoid uncertainty. Safety is praised. Stability is rewarded. Over time, this creates a mindset that prefers predictability over possibility, even when predictability limits freedom. The author shares that many of his own decisions looked wrong from the outside. They didn't make sense to the crowd, but they were carefully calculated, not impulsive. Those decisions later became the foundation of his independence. Another powerful idea here is that avoiding risk doesn't eliminate danger, it just hides it. Staying stuck in one place carries its own long-term risk. Loss of options, loss of control, and loss of growth. The lesson closes with a mindset shift. Fear is not a stop sign. It's information. When fear appears, it's a signal to slow down, understand the risk, and move forward with clarity, not retreat. Those who learn to manage fear don't become reckless. They become free. Lesson 8. Mentally strong people don't try to control everything. One of the biggest traps in life is the illusion of control. Many people believe that if they micromanage everything, people, outcomes, even tiny details, they can secure success and safety. Mentally strong people understand the hard truth: you cannot control everything. And trying to do so is a waste of energy. They focus their energy on what they can influence: their actions, choices, mindset, and the effort they put in. They don't stress over circumstances beyond their reach. This doesn't mean they are passive, it means they are strategic, deliberate, and disciplined. Most people confuse control with security. When life goes off script, they panic. They overthink, manipulate, and sometimes hurt relationships in an attempt to fix everything. Mentally strong people see this behavior for what it is: exhausting and fruitless. They accept uncertainty as a constant and focus on where their actions matter most. The lesson also highlights how society reinforces this control obsession. From a young age, we are taught to plan meticulously, avoid surprises, and play safe. Safety is praised. Stability is rewarded. But this mindset comes at a cost. Predictability feels safe, but it limits freedom, growth, and opportunity. The author shares personal examples where he had to let go of control. Many of his decisions seemed reckless to outsiders. They didn't follow conventional wisdom, and they appeared chaotic. Yet these choices were carefully thought out. He focused on what he could control and accepted what he could not. Over time, this approach became the foundation of his success, resilience, and independence. Another powerful insight: trying to control everything doesn't prevent chaos, it only creates stress. Energy spent on the uncontrollable is energy stolen from your growth, creativity, and peace of mind. Real freedom comes from discerning where your influence matters and releasing the rest. Control what you can, let go of what you can't, and use the clarity and energy you save to make smarter decisions. Mental strength is not about managing everything, it's about mastering yourself in a world you can't master. Lesson 9. Mentally strong people embrace change. Change is one of the few certainties in life, yet most people resist it. Comfort feels safe, routines feel secure, and predictability feels reassuring. Mentally strong people see things differently. They understand that growth, opportunity, and freedom all require change, and they don't wait for change to feel safe before acting. The book emphasizes that resisting change is a subtle form of fear. People cling to familiar habits, relationships, and circumstances, even when they no longer serve them. They avoid uncertainty, hoping stability will protect them. But stability without progress leads to stagnation, missed opportunities, and quiet frustration. Mentally strong individuals recognize that change often feels uncomfortable at first. It may bring risk, uncertainty, and temporary setbacks, but discomfort is not danger. Just like in financial growth, meaningful progress requires stepping into the unknown, testing limits, and learning from each experience. The author shares examples from his own life where embracing change felt counterintuitive. Decisions that looked risky or wrong to outsiders, switching careers, moving cities, or pursuing unconventional paths, ultimately became turning points that expanded his freedom, income, and mindset. Each change was intentional, calculated, and guided by purpose, not impulse. Another key insight: resisting change doesn't protect you from risk, it only delays it. Life keeps moving, circumstances shift, and opportunities disappear for those who cling too tightly to the familiar. The real danger lies in standing still while the world moves forward. Stop fearing change. See it as a signal, not a threat. Evaluate the risks, prepare thoughtfully, and take action. Those who embrace change intentionally don't just survive, they thrive, grow stronger, and expand the possibilities in their lives. Lesson 10. Mentally strong people don't seek approval. One of the most subtle barriers to personal and financial growth is the need for approval. Many people make decisions based on what others will think, say, or expect. Mentally strong people recognize this trap. Seeking validation from others is a surefire way to stay stuck. The book explains that the desire for approval comes from fear of rejection, judgment, or conflict. This fear keeps people repeating actions that are safe but unfulfilling, avoiding risks, and suppressing their true potential. They may chase promotions, opportunities, or relationships not because they want them, but because they want someone else's nod of approval. Mentally strong individuals flip this mindset. They don't seek permission to live fully. Their choices are guided by purpose, principles, and their own judgment, not by the opinions of the crowd. They understand that trying to please everyone is impossible and mentally exhausting, and it rarely leads to meaningful results. The author shares personal examples where he faced criticism or doubt from those around him. Decisions that appeared strange or risky to others, like investing in unconventional opportunities or walking away from safe but stagnant paths, were deliberate and intentional. By ignoring external approval and trusting his own reasoning, he created a foundation of independence and long-term success. Another crucial insight: approval seeking doesn't eliminate risk, it amplifies it. When your choices are driven by others' expectations, you're not acting in your own best interest. You're trading freedom for temporary acceptance. True strength comes from the courage to stand alone when necessary, make decisions aligned with your values, and accept that not everyone will understand. Stop looking for validation. Focus on what aligns with your goals, values, and growths. Those who master this mindset don't just gain independence, they gain freedom, confidence, and clarity to pursue what truly matters. Lesson 11. Mentally strong people don't complain. Complaining is one of the easiest traps to fall into and one of the most harmful. Most people spend hours venting about circumstances, co-workers, money, or society, thinking it releases stress or helps them cope. Mentally strong people see it differently. Complaining wastes energy, keeps you stuck, and gives control of your life to others. The book explains that complaining feels productive, but it rarely leads to real solutions. Instead, it reinforces a victim mindset, making you focused on problems instead of possibilities. Mentally strong individuals take responsibility for their lives. They acknowledge challenges, but they don't waste mental energy whining about them. This lesson also highlights a key truth about personal growth: life will always have problems. Waiting for a perfect situation or blaming external factors only delays progress. Mentally strong people confront difficulties head-on, look for actionable solutions, and adapt rather than argue with reality. The author shares examples from his own journey where situations could have been frustrating, unfair, or discouraging. Instead of complaining, he focused on what he could do to change outcomes. That mindset created momentum, opened opportunities, and strengthened his resilience. Another insight: complaining doesn't eliminate risk or hardship, it amplifies negativity. Energy spent focusing on what's wrong is energy taken away from growth, learning, and action. Those who master this lesson redirect their energy toward solution-oriented thinking and deliberate action, building mental toughness and independence. Stop complaining. Take responsibility for your life, focus on what you can influence, and act with clarity. Mentally strong people don't waste time whining, they turn challenges into opportunities. Lesson 12. Mentally strong people don't fear alone time. Many people fear being alone, not just physically, but mentally. Silence, reflection, and solitude can feel uncomfortable. Most fill their lives with distractions, noise, or constant social validation to avoid confronting themselves. Mentally strong people take a different approach. They embrace alone time as a tool for growth, clarity, and self-mastery. The book explains that solitude allows you to reflect on your decisions, evaluate your goals, and understand your true priorities. It's in these quiet moments that clarity emerges, creativity sparks, and self-discipline strengthens. Avoiding alone time keeps your mind crowded with noise, other people's opinions, and distractions that prevent real progress. Mentally strong individuals use alone time strategically. They analyze failures without judgment, plan actions without pressure, and recharge their energy so they can engage with the world more effectively. Solitude is not loneliness, it's empowerment. The author shares personal experiences where stepping back, being alone, and thinking deeply led to breakthrough decisions. Many of these moments looked uneventful to outsiders, but they were critical turning points in building independence, mental strength, and long-term success. Another key insight: avoiding solitude doesn't protect you, it keeps you dependent on external validation and prevents you from knowing your own mind. Those who embrace alone time gain self-awareness, confidence, and the ability to make decisions without fear or distraction. Stop fearing being alone. Use solitude as a space to grow, plan, and understand yourself. Mentally strong people don't avoid alone time, they leverage it to strengthen their mind, decisions, and freedom. Lesson 13. Mentally strong people don't feel entitled. Entitlement is a quiet trap. Many people expect success, respect, or rewards simply because they deserve them. Mentally strong people understand a harsh but liberating truth: nothing in life is guaranteed, you must earn it. The book explains that entitlement breeds frustration, resentment, and stagnation. People who feel entitled often blame others, avoid responsibility, and overestimate their importance. In contrast, mentally strong individuals focus on action, effort, and contribution. They know that respect, wealth, and influence are results, not guarantees. Mentally strong people also recognize that entitlement limits growth. Expecting results without effort keeps you in a comfort zone, prevents learning, and delays mastery. Success isn't owed, it's earned through persistence, adaptability, and deliberate work. The author shares personal examples where he faced situations that could have triggered feelings of entitlement or unfairness. Instead of complaining or demanding recognition, he invested energy in improving skills, taking calculated risks, and consistently showing up. Over time, this approach created opportunities, independence, and lasting results. Another key insight: letting go of entitlement doesn't mean settling for less, it means focusing on what you can control, taking responsibility, and creating your own path to success. Those who master this mindset gain resilience, humility, and the ability to achieve far beyond what they initially imagined. Stop expecting life to hand you rewards. Focus on earning, learning, and contributing. Mentally strong people don't feel entitled, they create their own opportunities and freedom through effort and discipline. Lesson 14. Mentally strong people don't give away their power. One of the biggest hidden challenges in life is giving your power away, letting other people's opinions, emotions, or actions dictate your mindset and decisions. Mentally strong people understand that power is personal, and surrendering it quietly limits freedom, confidence, and growth. The book explains that most people unconsciously hand over their power. They allow criticism, praise, or social pressure to influence their choices. They let relationships, bosses, or social expectations dictate their emotions and priorities. This behavior creates dependency, self-doubt, and stagnation. Mentally strong individuals don't deny others' opinions or emotions, they acknowledge them, but they filter what truly matters. They make decisions based on their values, goals, and understanding of reality, not on how someone else feels or what society expects. This requires courage, self-awareness, and discipline. The author shares personal examples where people tried to control, manipulate, or influence his choices. Instead of reacting impulsively, he focused on what he could control and stayed true to his principles. Over time, this ability to maintain his power became a key factor in his independence, success, and confidence. Another insight: giving away your power may feel easier in the short term, but it erodes long-term freedom. Those who reclaim their power gain clarity, focus, and control over their lives, making them far more resilient to challenges and opportunities alike. Stop letting others control your emotions, decisions, or self-worth. Mentally strong people protect their power, they choose their own path and stand firm in their independence, no matter the pressure around them.